Om Shri Sai Ram.
Sai Now.
So, in the previous episode of Sai Now, did you notice something very unique? We ended up with two heroes. The first one, of course, is the young renunciant. And the second one, any guesses?
The coconut, of course. And now oka plate idli.
Hold on. What's the hurry? This movie has just begun. This episode heavily refers back to Raju's story in chapter 7 of Sai Now. So if you have not seen it, we highly recommend that you see that episode first. And if you have seen it only once, please see it again.
I seen chapter 7 many times. Raju gave up all attachments to lead a spiritual life. It's a no-brainer.
So, in order to give up attachment, one has to renounce all these relationships like mother, father, wife, husband. All these relationships which cause this attachment. And on the other side, when the purpose of life is to understand that I am not this body, I am the Atman, isn't it meaningless to earn, feed and nurture this mere body? Well, that's precisely what Raju thought and did. When he read in the Upanishads that of the millions who are worldly, Kashchit Dhiraha, one rare person takes to the spiritual life, to the inner life. Naturally, he was inspired. He renounced everything.
But did that really work? Is choosing spiritual life the same as giving up worldly life?
Well, that is the question we will seek answers for today. Let's now turn our attention to the other hero of the previous chapter of Sai Now, the coconut. Well, I never thought we'll be calling the coconut a hero, but you will agree with me that it did so well that we have chosen this coconut to be the hero of this episode as well. Who knows, we might have a series on the super coconut. A coconut universe where the coconut saves the world from the evil villain, bringing together the different super nuts and forming a league of superheroes, the guardian nuts of the galaxies.
What a wild imagination. Let's get back to the simple coconut.
Now, having climbed the real coconut tree, having had the real coconut fruit, having tasted the sweet coconut water, what else can we do with the
Anna,
coconut?
get idli with coconut chutney.
Ah, we can make coconut chutney, isn't it? Hold on. Before you start sprinkling water on your leaf and settle down to have nice hot steaming idlis with white coconut chutney.
Oh, what does coconut chutney have to do with spirituality?
To know that, we quickly need to get back to Raju's story. So the question is, what was he trying to do when he left his home and society? Was he in search of a rock to sit on and meditate, or was he trying to find a tree and silently hoping that it turns out to be a Bodhi tree?
No. He was going on a quest for Brahman.
Right. In Vedanta, this quest for the Supreme, the Brahman, is called Brahma Jigyasa. To know that nothing else is worth pursuing and to have that aspiration to attain wisdom or Brahma Jnana is called Brahma Jigyasa. There is this very interesting text called the Brahma Sutras, and Swami has also written a commentary on it. The very first line is very interesting. It says, Athato Brahma Jigyasa.
Somebody get me chutney, yaar.
Coming. The statement Atato Brahma Jigyasa means thereafter the quest for Brahman begins. What a weird way to start a text, isn't it?
After what?
Swami says First, there must be Karma Jigyasa, then Dharma Jigyasa, and finally Brahma Jigyasa.
అథాతో ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాస అనుటకు పూర్వము అథాతో కర్మ జిజ్ఞాస. కర్మ జిజ్ఞాస కాక ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాసుడు కాలేడు, ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాసుడు కాక బ్రహ్మ జిజ్ఞాసుడు కాలేడు. పువ్వు లేక పిండి పుట్టున చెట్టున, కాయి లేక ఫలము కలుగున జగతిలో, అటులనే కర్మ లేక భక్తి కలుగున జగతిలో, భక్తి లేక జ్ఞాన ఫలము కలుగున. కనుకనే కర్మ జిజ్ఞాస ద్వారా ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాస, ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాసము వల్ల బ్రహ్మ జిజ్ఞాస ప్రాప్తిస్తుంది ప్రతి మానవులకు.
What does all this Vedanta have to do with my coconut chutney?
Welcome to the analogy for this chapter. Swami explains this profound concept using the preparation of a coconut chutney.
ఒక పచ్చడి మనము చేయాలనుకుంటే దీనికి కొన్ని పదార్థములు మనం ప్రోగు చేసుకోవాలి. ఒక కొబ్బరికాయ పచ్చడి చేయాలి, దీనికి మిరపకాయ కావాలి, చింతపండు కావాలి, ఉప్పు కావాలి, కొబ్బరి కావాలి.
Our friend here wants coconut chutney, and he believes that having coconut chutney with hot steaming idlis is going to give him bliss supreme. Now Swami says, let us compare this bliss to Brahmananda or the ultimate bliss. But the coconut chutney is not going to appear on its own. It has to be prepared, isn't it? So the first step is to gather all the ingredients: coconut, salt, tamarind, chilies, etc. Then you chop, grind, roast and so on.
ఈ పదార్థములన్నీ ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ప్రోగు చేసి మూడింటిని కలిపి దీన్ని నూరినప్పుడే ఇది ఒక చట్నీ రూపొందుతుంది. ఇది కర్మ జిజ్ఞాస.
What do you do next? You take a spoon of it and put it in your mouth and taste it.
చేసినంత మాత్రమున చాలదు, ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాస దానిని అనుభవించాలి, తిని చూడాలి.
What will you do if you find that it is bland or tasteless? You will go back to the ingredients and add a little salt or spice. This is Brahma Jigyasa.
First of all, you don't let them serve me chutney. On top of that, what is all this? Karma, Dharma, Brahma Jigyasa.
Don't worry, it really can't be explained in a simpler manner. Now let us revisit the 3 steps to making a coconut chutney. Secret. You can actually use any dish for this analogy. The first step involves all actions involved in procuring and cooking the dish. The second step is tasting it. The third step is identifying the flaw and correcting it.
The fourth step is serving the chutney and me eating it.
That's right. So Swami says these 3 stages are comparable to Karma Jigyasa, Dharma Jigyasa and Brahma Jigyasa.
ఈ మానవ జన్మమునందు విహితమైనటువంటి కర్మలు ఆచరించి, ఈ ఆచరించినటువంటి కర్మలను అనుష్ఠానంలో ఉంచుకొని, ఈ అనుష్ఠానమునందు ఏ యొక్క లోపం ఉన్నది అనేటువంటి దాన్ని గుర్తించి ఆ లోపమును తీర్చుకోవటమే బ్రహ్మ జిజ్ఞాస. మనము పుట్టినాము, పంచభూతముల చేత కూడినాము, పంచకోశముల చేత చేరినాము, పంచాత్మను అనుభవిస్తున్నాము. అనుభవించినప్పుడు ఈ అనుభవించటమే ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాస. ఈ అనుభవించిన తరువాత ఇందులో శాశ్వత ఆనందం లేదు అని గుర్తించుకున్నాం. ఆ శాశ్వతానందం ఏమిటి? అది ఏ బ్రహ్మతత్వము. ఆ శాశ్వతానందమైన బ్రహ్మతత్వంలో చేర్చుకోవటమే ఇది బ్రహ్మ జిజ్ఞాస. కనుక ప్రతి మానవుడికి కర్మ జిజ్ఞాస ప్రారంభము, రెండవది ధర్మ జిజ్ఞాస, మూడవది బ్రహ్మ జిజ్ఞాస.
All of this gathering and cooking is a part of Karma Jigyasa. But even after our best efforts, we may not get the best results. So tasting the chutney and seeing its consistency is Dharma Jigyasa. And finally, Brahma Jigyasa is recognizing that something is lacking in the chutney. Now what do you do when you find this out? You go back to the ingredients or you redo some of the steps. That is, you go back to Karma Jigyasa or Dharma Jigyasa.
Ayyo, when will I get my coconut chutney then?
We are almost there. So finally, when you're satisfied with the taste, you serve the chutney and then
Now this is Brahmananda.
now you see what mistake Raju was making. He wanted to eat the coconut chutney after reading about coconut chutney. That is, he had the noble urge to lead a spiritual life after reading about it in the Upanishads.
What's wrong in that?
Hold on. Nothing wrong with that. But the problem was, he did not gather the right ingredients for the coconut chutney. That is, he did not fully understand Karma Jigyasa and Dharma Jigyasa. Raju did not understand that he was not supposed to give up just what he was attached to, but to give up the nature of being attached. And that's how he ended up getting attached to a rock. He ended up with a very poorly cooked coconut chutney.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we must choose a spiritual path over a worldly path. Having taken this human birth, that alone makes sense. But it is not a choice between the society and the forest. I can be sitting in an ashram or a forest and have worldly desires. I will be a worldly man. I could be in a cosmopolitan city. But if my aspirations are spiritual, I am a spiritual man leading a spiritual life. Choosing the spiritual path is nothing but spiritualizing worldly life.
ప్రకృతి అంతయు బ్రహ్మ మన ప్రేమ బ్రహ్మ సర్వమును బ్రహ్మ ఈ సభయు బ్రహ్మ సత్యమును తెలుపునట్టి ఈ సాయి బ్రహ్మ.
So the next time you're eating hot steaming idlis with coconut chutney, don't forget Karma Jigyasa, Dharma Jigyasa and Brahma Jigyasa. But also remember, just as you cannot have the chutney without actually preparing it, you cannot lead a spiritual life without doing your duties. And to add to your duties, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Sri Sathya Sai official YouTube channel.